Welcome back. Today we are going to talk about stuff and things. And the stuff I want to talk about relates entirely to the things. And the stuff is, can you build muscle with the things, which are kettlebells? So someone asked me, can you build muscle with just kettlebells? And my answer is yes, but. And what I mean by that is building muscle is more about certain principles than it is one particular tool. And if you understand the principles, you can then make an informed decision as to what tool you think is going to be the most effective and efficient use of your time. So when it comes to building muscle, there's a few variables that are very important. I'm not saying these are the only variables that are important, but they are important. Number one is intensity. How much weight you lift relative to your absolute maximum. And the other one, arguably I wouldn't say it's more important, but I'll say it's more important because I already started that sentence and I want to commit to it, is time under tension, or how much time you spend under load. So when we're looking at a muscle building program, we should really pay attention to density and volume. So density is how much work do we do in a certain specific amount of time, like per set. Volume is how much work do we do overall. So you hear of these like high volume muscle building programs, like the German volume training or whatever the hell it's called, and it's like 10 sets by 10 reps of all these different exercises. Will that work? Actually, it does for a lot of people, but it's not very sustainable because it's so nuts. It's just so much work that you're not really going to be able to stick with it for that long. Plus, you can take a much more moderate approach and build muscle. So a few tips if you want to build muscle with just kettlebells. It can be done, but you want to make sure that you're sticking with the big lifts and you're doing a fair amount of density and volume. So two quick routines that I really like, and I actually have these on my YouTube channel somewhere, probably more than once because it's a pretty popular routine of mine, is to take the two biggest kettlebell moves, which would be the front squat and the double clean and press. So between these two moves, if you work them in a pretty dense and voluminous way, chances are it's going to help you add some muscle to your frame. Are you going to be like a bodybuilder? No, probably not. And I'm not really a bodybuilder. If you want to be like a bodybuilder, you should do a bodybuilding routine. But if you want to add some lean, dense functional muscle, this can really help. So you take two kettlebells, right? And you can start with 2 to 4 days a week of this, and I give that range because everyone's tolerance is going to be a bit different. And just starting out, you're going to have to take some time to work up to this volume because it is a lot. But you do 10 sets of 5 reps for the first phase, and I'll just talk about the first phase right now. Right, 10 sets of 5 reps of both of those exercises. So you go 10 sets of 5 reps, double clean and press, 10 sets of 5 reps on the front squat. Now, if you want to really make it as challenging but also as effective as possible, try and do it on the minute every minute. So going 5 reps on the minute every minute for 10 minutes of double clean and press and front squat. So do whatever one first, it doesn't matter. I usually do the front squats first and then the double clean and press after, but you should do it in the order that whatever is toughest for you, you do that first. And squats, I've personally always just hated squats. They're just a necessary but delicious evil. So, like I said, 10 sets of 5 reps on the minute every minute between front squats and double clean and press. You can do that 2 to 4 times a week. Make sure you're giving yourself some rest in between. And then, of course, eat a lot, like Chipotle or something, because the other factor of building muscle is making sure that you're getting enough calories in. That does matter. And one of the biggest mistakes I see for people who are trying to put on muscle, even if it's just like 5 pounds or whatever, is they're often not eating enough. A lot of people sort of underestimate how much more you need to eat, especially if you're quote unquote like a hard gainer, and I'm Irish, so I don't gain muscle very easily. So if I want to put on muscle, not just strength, but muscle, I often have to dramatically increase my calorie intake. Easy for me to get and stay lean. Difficult for me to put on muscle, but those are some things that have helped me. I hope they help you, and you can search my YouTube channel for these moves, but I'll write a post up soon and try and outline the program for you. All right, that's it. Have a good one.